Fair warning, I was a little sick while making this video, so if I sound off at some parts, that kind of explains why. Also, should be pretty obvious, but this will be a heavy video with heavier topics, so just be warned. Oh, what was that? Huh? Merry Christmas, everyone! This may not seem like a very Christmassy game to talk about, but this is still going to be a Christmas special because, well, why not? You can tell because I put Christmas lights in the background. Anyways, I should probably actually talk about the game. You probably know this game as that Earthbound-inspired RPG about depression, or whatever people say. And, well, I'm here to see if I can learn to love a game that I've always put off. You probably know how I feel because of what I put in the thumbnail and the title, but for me, I get to experience from the start to the end, and I get to see if I can learn to enjoy something I didn't before. Omori has always been in the background of my life, as I've always known about it, but just never played it. And honestly, I came to dislike it because I was so sick of hearing about how good it was and having it shoved in my face. But as I got into more RPGs, I kept coming back to this game more and more. After finishing, well, not a lot, but still a fair amount of RPGs, I figured I could come back to this game. And honestly, I honestly see it get joked about, a lot now. And that could just be my feed, but I don't know. I really need to try this game out, as, well, I never gave it a fair chance. But first, I think we should go into the history it has and how long it's been in development. Alright, to start off, a lot of the inspiration that they had while making the game is a lot more than just Earthbound. I don't really feel like listing it off, but I really don't want this game to just be known as funny, quirky Earthbound game. It's much more than that. And even though I haven't played it yet, I know this still. I'm not stupid. I should probably talk about the game's history though, like I said. It's pretty interesting. Omori started off as a webcomic created in 2012 about some boy who lives in isolation. There's not really much I can go into it without going into super good detail, but that's really what you need to know about the comic, because that's kind of how the game starts off. Omori is short for hikikomori, I think. That's the Japanese term for extreme social isolation, at least from my understanding. And when I look it up, that's seemingly what it means. But I'd take everything with a grain of salt, especially because I probably mispronounced it. And I'm some stupid little rabbit on the internet, so I really don't have room to talk. In the comic, Omori's supposed to step out of the white space and meet some others. But, that's all there's really about the webcomic. Omocat wanted Omori to be in a bigger story and go on a bigger adventure, so she stopped working on the graphic novel, with this idea in mind. But when making it, she kept thinking it'd be better if it was made into a game instead of a graphic novel. People can interact with more, make more choices of their own. It needed to be a video game to her, but she didn't have the time to make it, nor the skill. She didn't know what to do, but she noticed that RPG Maker was on sale, so bought it for her and her friends. She knew she could try to make the game at this point, so she hit up said friends to see if they wanted to help and work on the game. She started planning out the game with sketches and whatnot, and it ended up becoming an RPG, as you know. She thought about making an RPG while making the graphic novel. She got someone else who knew how to program an RPG Maker, so it'd make things easier on her, so she could focus on some other stuff. But the Kickstarter went up, and so did the trailer, with the use of the song My Time by Bo-En. The trailer was an interesting look into the game, and it clearly had people hooked on what it was going to become. Hitting every goal except for one, which would have been for them to port the game to the PS Vita. Come on guys, why didn't we do that? Omori port to the PS Vita? Come on, original Omori backers, what were you doing? I guess now that I think about it, I wouldn't even get in because nobody uses the PS Vita anymore. Anyways, the game grew bigger in scale, and Omocat got more help in making the game. They needed more time, and it couldn't be released, so it got delayed. Well, it was delayed. That greatly helped development, but it made it seem like a scam, and a lot of people thought it was a scam because the devs weren't responding to the backers, and it was pissing people off to the extreme. The newest version of RPG Maker was screwed up, and had bugs causing them to delay it a little bit more. And then another delay, but another trailer was released showing that it wasn't a scam. And this showed that the game might just be released later. But it might release later than they thought. even if they had been working non-stop on it. A lot of the art was made in real life and scanned to make it digital, but this was replaced by pixel art. Although, this was probably a better decision, because it made Omori stand out from other games with a mix of pixel art and some scanned-in art. And honestly, I can't mind. I mean, we'll talk about the art later, so we'll get to that when we get to that. I really don't know what else I can say that isn't probably just in another YouTube video. I mean, I shortened this as much as I could. I wanted to give a really brief summary, but honestly, I couldn't do this justice. So, you could probably go find another video talking about its history in way more detail. There was this joke for a while that it was just another game that would never come out. But I mean, it did come out in 2020. And if that comes out, why can't we get Half-Life 3? Well, actually, that might be on the horizon with the new Steam stuff. Anyways, well, I should probably get to playing the game. And, well, you know, I can explain the story while I play it. Okay, initially, I had all this stuff for the white space in, like, the fictional world written down. And, basically, I can just sum it up real quick. With the fictional worlds, you go, you try and find your friend Basil, because they're gone, they're missing, and you don't know why. So, you're just doing a bunch of stuff. Like, you go to space, you go to, like, a castle, I think you go gambling at a point. It's like a bunch of stuff, you know, but that's not really the meat of the story. The meat of the story is all of the segments that are in real life. Well, as real as this game can get. Their real life, not Sunny's imagination. So, I think it'd just be better off if I read those off. It would shorten the video, it would make it a lot better, especially because that is one of my gripes, that it does feel a little padded out with the story because you are going to this fictional world. And well, yes, some of the parts of the fictional world do make sense to have. Most of it is just a bunch of filler to me. And that's not even necessarily a bad thing, but I can talk about this later. Anyways, when you get to the real world, there's someone knocking at your door. It's your old friend Kel, and he wants to hang out. So, I did. How else am I supposed to progress with the story? Anyways, you go and get a gift at the hobby store for his brother. And that's just kind of for when he comes back from college to visit for the summer. After getting the gift, you go back to the park, and you fight Aubrey, who is having her lackey, bully Basil. But when you get into a fight, Sunny cuts her, causing Kel to take the knife and for her to leave you alone. So you guys take Basil home, but then he asks you to get his photo album that Aubrey took. Fighting a little kid to get the info, which is kind of funny. Anyways, this kid tells you to go get the Maverick. When looking at this guy, oh my god, it was really funny because he looks like a wannabe Sanji. And he does not have all that swag, but he does have that kind of annoying lust for women, I'm not gonna lie. Anyways, after beating him, he doesn't even know where she is. So we go around, find some of the other bully kids, and after stopping them from stealing candy, Kel buys them some, but they want to fight us for it, even though Kel offered it to them. After learning Aubrey is in the church and confronting her about Basil's photo album, she beats up Kel and Sunny and runs off after people were talking about how much of a delinquent she is. She throws it away, so Kel finds it in her trash after digging in it. Weird, but, you know, whatever. It's memories. You'd want to keep the memories. After that, we give it back to Basil and look through the photos. Aubrey still has some of the photos. After looking around, Basil gives Sunny the photo album to keep, and they head off to dinner. After leaving, Kel says thanks for hanging out with them, and they depart for the night. Walking back into the house, there are a bunch of spiders. And all of this takes place in Sunny's imagination, which I'm still gonna count this here because it's a part of real life and you're not in his 100% fictional imaginary world. On day 2, Kel is outside your door, knocking, waiting for you to go out with him to get some stuff for his brother's arrival, because it is that day. At this point, I kinda sorta forgot to start recording again because my power went out. The power outage really just caused a boss fight to screw up, so I had to restart that. And the boss fight was really frustrating, blah blah blah, anyways. But yeah, I had a blackout, so the recording might be a little weird because, you know, some stuff might be missing in the background. Anyways, after heading back to Kel's house, we find out that Basil is missing. We go looking for him to find out the scooter gang surrounding him, getting him to leave. Then this starts a fight with them. And of course you lose, because there are more people in the scooter gang than there are Sunny and Kel. All but Aubrey leave after that fight. She gets super mad because she feels like they're just harassing her, and pushes Basil into the water. When I saw this, I was shocked. Like, I can't lie, I really was shocked. It was, I mean, kind of a dick move, obviously. Anyways, after going in after him, you start seeing a bunch of stuff in Sunny's head. You follow Sunny's sister down the stairs. After this, it puts you into a battle where you fight against something in the water. I couldn't quite tell. After defeating this thing, you see Sunny's sister saving him from the water. But waking back up, that wasn't Sunny's sister. It turned out to be Hero. You get Basil back to his house, and you go eat dinner at Kel and Hero's house. And look more at the photo book. The fuck? Did I just get a notification? God damn it. Anyways. Merry Christmas, everyone! Oh, am I supposed to say? It's the season to put up your Christmas tree and put up some ornaments. Give gifts to friends and family. Maybe play some Christmas music. Watch some Christmas movies. Why not celebrate? I mean, it's the season, and who wouldn't want to celebrate? It's fun. Now, before I go, I just want to say there will probably be another video for New Year's, because, well, New Year's is probably my favorite holiday. It's a full rotation around the Earth. It's a new year. Be a new person. So, why not make a New Year's video? It'll probably be a lot happier than this one. So, stay tuned for that, and have a Merry Christmas!
It's me, Fat Chris! Get a Nintendo Wii with Wii Sports, plus Big Brain Academy and Guinness World Records and Carnival, all for only $199.99. Save a bundle at Game Station!
Game Station! Gaming for less this Christmas!
They ask if they can go out and hang out with you after dinner. And they are allowed to. So, of course, they end up going to Sunny's house. Hero plays the piano, and they start to get tired. They go get some blankets so they could stay the night. After walking out of the room with the piano, I heard the same tune that I have heard a few times before. This could just be some of the other games that I have played, but this almost bittersweet tune makes me think the song is going to have a bigger role in the future, if you get what I mean. I don't know if it's necessarily a leitmotif, because I'm pretty sure it's been the same song, but if that song doesn't have something to do with anything big in the future, I will be shocked. Okay, I know I said I probably wouldn't include all the fictional world segments, but This one might be important, as I am talking about dark space and going into it. After seeing shadows of Basil, you can hear his voice, and you do tasks for him in his dying garden, walking to his house. All the trees are dead, and the water around his house is now red. I assume it's blood or something, because, I mean, that's kind of the most obvious thing horror has taught me. Anyways, after walking into his house, you see a shadow go into the void of the house, and you jump in it, following him. When you wake back up, you walk to a beach, then to some stairs. You see Sunny's sister, Mari, in a casket. That then turns into a door. After walking into the door, you enter dark space. Here, you have to collect keys while running around into these shadow Basils and talking to them. I can't lie. While I was doing this part, it was pretty upsetting. Not in a bad way, but it was making me emotional. I don't exactly know why. It's just generally an emotional scene, and it almost reminds me of something, but I can't put my finger on it. The cat room was what got to me, because why did I have to cut open a cat that was obviously just an innocent creature? Like, I was to tears at this point. Once I figured out how to leave the cat, doing some other stuff, I walked into the door surrounded by a red light. And then I started walking through a land of snow into the church. Then you follow Basil into the darkness he fell into. After following him and finding him trapped, Omori stabs Basil and walks up to the stairs into a throne of hands and sits in it. But then Sunny wakes back up. Sunny walks into the piano room to see Mari, talking about how she used to play waltz music, until she disappears and Hiro walks in. You go back to sleep, and you properly wake up on the final day to Hiro making breakfast. But in the middle of that, the scooter gang is at the door trying to figure out why Aubrey isn't answering her door. After that, they go to investigate. And knocking on the door, it opens and they walk in, finding Aubrey in her room. After speaking, they all make up and decide to hang out the last day Sunny is there. So they go to the tree house, but on the way, they find a tree stump. Talking about that's where Mari, well, they don't say, but it's clear to say that she killed herself there and hung herself. It's really sad. I really don't know what else to be said. I don't know if I'm going to keep these long pauses in between my ramblings, because honestly, this is a pretty sad game. And I can honestly feel everything just reading off what I wrote before. I should keep going on with the script. I'm so sorry for going on a side tangent. Alright. They decide to keep going and find the treehouse. When they walk in, they realize everything is where they last left it. And they find one last photo. They look through the photos one last time after Aubrey runs off to the stump, crying. They decide to head to Basil's house. But he locked himself in his room, so they decide to stay the night. Sunny starts having nightmares about everything that's happened before. All the nightmares are very heavy, to say the least. I can't explain it well without doing a disservice. And the nightmares show that Sunny and Mari were fighting, and Sunny had pushed Mari down the stairs. And well, he tried to cover it up. Basil had a really messed up but better idea to cover it up, and they hung the dead body. So it wasn't herself that had hung herself, I guess. It was it was Sunny and Basil. After all the nightmares, we go to save Basil. But while we are trying to save Basil, he attacks us, and it seems Basil pokes Sunny's eye out. After talking to another Basil, you go down a literal memory lane, looking at different memories through your life. After all of this, your friends give you words of encouragement, and you play your violin. After this, Sunny has to fight Omori. This can go either two ways. Either you die and get a game over, causing the bad ending where you jump off the building, presumably the hospital you are at, or you prevail and see the final duet. Omori wakes up in the hospital to see his friends walk off, the shadow of Basil walking off as well. After Omori walks around, we see the actual Sunny walk into the room with Basil, and Sunny says that he has something to tell the others. Okay, like, holy wow. The art is probably, like, one of the best parts of the game besides the story. It's clearly the part that had some of the most thought put into it, besides the story, again. All the art looks really good, and makes it pretty unique from most other RPGs. Most of these games only use pixel art, don't switch it up at all, so it's a nice, fresh change of pace for most RPGs to have this more hand-done art when... Well, I can't even say when you're not in the overworld, because even when you're in the overworld, sometimes there are PNGs of stuff, or like the sky is a real sky. The fact that it's so mixed medium makes it look fairly good. And again, yeah, it is a huge, fresh change of pace for most other RPGs. I mean, some have been trying to use that Paper Mario style as of late, but it's been like 1 or 2 games. I don't think Omori would be the same at all without its fantastic art, as it is really just a part of its charm. And the music is pretty good. Some tracks are a standout to me, like the battle music, or some of the boss themes. But you really can't beat Toby. Toby Fox has made some of the best songs of all time for games and other media. And that's a really unfair comparison I am making. Because once again, he is like one of the all-time greatest at making video game music. I can't think of exact song by name besides the duet in My Time. My Time probably being my favorite song in the game because, well, it is kind of melodramatic and sad. It's not too sad to the point of having me like almost break down like Duet, and I love Duet, but My Time kind of just takes the cake. And the funny thing is, the song was made before the game, and it feels like it was made just for it. And Omocat clearly thought the same thing, because it really just fits with the bad ending better than any other song probably could. It's truly a standout. I do recommend listening to the Omori soundtrack, besides just playing the game. Okay, this part is probably going to be one of the more emotional parts for me. Because this game means a lot to me now that I've played it, and I'm not afraid to admit this. I hated this game before because it felt like it was being shoved in my face all the time, but now I get it. I get why people like this game, and honestly, it's probably one of my favorite games now. After seeing Final Duet, I was sobbing more than ever. I was sobbing more than ever in my life. To the point, I'm pretty sure I got my first migraine that night. I still kind of feel the repercussions of my emotions. And it was pretty shitty the day after, because I felt like I was trying not to break down the whole time. I want to put into better words how I feel, but I really just don't know how. I mean, this game reminded me of everyone I have lost to natural causes, accidents, and even those who have taken their own lives. But it gave me a comfort. It gave me a comfort after all of that. After everything I have been through. And even my own thoughts. It reminded me that I'll be okay. I can get through life with a little peace of mind. And I really do recommend playing this game, as it's just phenomenal. And
Close your eyes, you'll be here soon. 1、2、3、4、5分時々本当に熱帯でもこのワードできない Oh Yasumi, I know that it's hard to do. Let's go riding, shogun night, golden cross, shattered glass, and all time with that time in my head. All just hands of time will wring my neck. Every little moment spells regret. But I don't have to feel this way. As a voice inside